We're not making any photos today. Nor are we going to be talking about gear. Today, I'm going to be sharing some important lessons that I learned from one of my favorite street photography books of all time. How I Make Photographs by Joel Meyerowitz. Joel Meyerowitz is a pioneer of color street photography. He is best known for his photographs of New York City in the 1960s and the 1970s, and also for his chilling documentation of Ground Zero after the events of 9/11. Aside from street photography, Joel Meyerowitz also did still life, portraiture, and landscape photography, all of which have been featured in museums and exhibitions around the world. I've always resonated with his simple approach to photography and how he encourages everyone to follow their instincts, to find their voice. That's why I picked up this book. It's a nice one-day read that will completely change the way you practice street photography. This might be the single most important lesson in the book. Joel Meyerowitz talks a lot about the importance of following your impulses. Like many of you, I struggle with trusting my instincts. I often question if they're right, if they mean anything, or if these instincts will create the photos that my audience wants to see. Having too many of these thoughts will ultimately cause you to freeze when you encounter decisive moments on the streets. And that's why it's important to act on your instincts. Don't doubt them, just react and go for it. Basically, the lesson here is to pay attention to all the small details on the streets that catches your eye. It could be a person, an object, or lighting. Once you have one small detail as an anchor, you can slowly build your photo from there. Here are two examples of how I was able to implement this method in the way I shoot. In this photo, the first thing that I noticed when I was walking down the street was the laundry that was hanging around, and that's what I locked onto. I found different pieces that interested me and just waited for things around them to fall into place. I've covered this second example in one of my street flow videos before. The lighting was the first thing that drew my attention. I focused on that and started composing. All the pieces slowly came together, and I was gifted with this final photo. Being attentive to small details will lead you to noticing many other things. Give it a try the next time you're out shooting. I like to review and critique my own photos on a monthly basis. Taking this time to regularly study your own images is one of the most valuable things you can do. When you go through your photos, you'll start to notice patterns and discover what you're actually drawn to. Once you've identified these impulses, you can decide whether or not to drop them or continue to expand on them. Photography is all about finding things that attract you. When you add them all up, these are all things that will give you a sense of what your identity is. I really can't stress this one enough. We need to all stop looking at photos on Instagram for inspiration. Photo books are the right way to go. You can see the photos for what they really are. What's in focus, what's not, the details, the grain. You'll get a much clearer picture of what a good photograph looks like. When I'm flipping through a photo book, I'm trying to break down the process behind the photos. What was the photographer trying to achieve? What was the trigger for this photo? How was it built? Breaking down the process of other great photographers will allow you to discover many different things that you can use to make your own photos better. So those were some of my favorite lessons from this book. If you don't already have it, I highly recommend that you pick it up. If you already own it, go read through it again. I get new ideas every time I go through these lessons. Honestly, I'm not sure if you guys are into this kind of material, but I always think that it's important to share every aspect of my approach to street photography with you all. And getting inspired through learning about the work of other photographers is a huge part of it. So let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear if you want to see more content like this in the future. Alright, I'll catch you in the next one.